Yeah, sorry people. I did that thing where I forget that there's other videos I've done that are still on the camera, and I need to delete them before I make another video. Because this camera here can only hold 20 minutes worth of video. And since my videos are kind of long, you know, if I don't delete all the videos on every single video on my camera before I make another video, it won't. Bad things will happen like this right now, where the memory card got full. That's what happened. Memory card got full halfway through a sentence, and then my camera red light went off. But anyway, what was I saying? Yes. There's something about how how does humility and such self-emulation, especially if it's in this extreme. I don't want to use the word disturbing too much because it's not a very objective word, but really in this case I found it absolutely disturbing and sickening to see people bowing on their hands and knees, self-emulating, praying for forgiveness for being crap. I would prefer to see grown men and women saying, pointing up and saying, I have done this, I have achieved this today. What have you achieved? I want this pleasure, and I will go get this pleasure because it is pleasurable to me. I will get it. It violates no one else's pleasure or autonomy, so I shall have it for myself. That seems to be the way to live, in my opinion. And also when it comes to sexuality and gender, I have my hair like this, and I dress male because I was born male, and because it's convenient. The culture says this is what you do as a male, and culture says this is how you work, and I only conform because it's most pleasurable to do so and convenient. So I will attract women more if I do so, and it's whatever will lead to my own happiness. I freely admit that if I were born homosexual, I wouldn't give a flying fuck what society said, because I realize that engaging in homosexual tendencies does not violate anyone's autonomy, does not lessen anyone's pleasure, so I would do it. And those who would say, well, yes, it does decrease pleasure from those who do not like what you're doing and they're mad about it, well, fuck them. It's sort of an illegitimate type of decreasing of pleasure, in my opinion, because it's not based on rationality. It's not based on actually being wronged in some way. Because I wouldn't be wronging people who wouldn't like it. I would simply be doing something for my pleasure, and the other person would be doing something for his pleasure and happiness, and and that'd be the way to go. But I was born heterosexual, so I don't have to worry about those complications. I don't have to worry about those people, because I was born liking women, so I'm fine there. But yes, and if I was born a woman, I would wear skirts and knee-high socks, because that is what will get me what I want. That is without harming anyone else. And I would probably, whenever I was bored, I probably would seduce men for the hell of it. I would try not to break their hearts. I'd try not to be a mean woman, but I would do it, And I probably would see them as my objects, and would be objects to them, and that would be okay. It's sort of a game. And if I wanted, but of course this couldn't go on forever. I would need, if I want happiness in the long run, to find I would have, and then this is how it is with me as male too, out of the theoretical here, that eventually I do have to find a long, committed, good relationship in order to gain long-term happiness, because you need pleasure and happiness. And if I were to just do the seducing thing for too long, I would still be missing something that is very important. And of course I will not be young forever. So at a certain point it very much helps to find a long committed relationship after a while, especially once one has the means to support, so like another person. At the least, or a couple people. So yeah, that's it. That's my view. We should try to combine utilitarianism and ethical egoism try to do what will make most people happy while respecting everyone's right to be happy themselves and to look for their own happiness and success and material benefit. And we shouldn't see morality as a don't, as a do this, don't do that. We shouldn't see morality in terms of restrictions. It shouldn't be a restrictive philosophy. It shouldn't be about restrictions. It should be about what will lead to your success and will lead to the success of your people. What will lead to everyone's well-being. Not what pleasure should we destroy today. It shouldn't be who's being too proud. How can we crush people? Because that's I agree with Machiavelli on these points when it comes to Christianity. Is that we shouldn't be humble. We should be proud, and we shouldn't refrain from the flesh. We should indulge in the flesh. We shouldn't. I also believe with Machiavelli that we shouldn't turn the other cheek. If someone's violating your autonomy, you have every right to violate it back. In fact, might even go as far as say you can violate it a little further. If someone smacks you, you should be able to knock them out. If someone knocks you out, you should be able to break something. Like an arm or leg. They won't knock you out again. That's for sure. Yes, I do recommend looking at Machiavelli and his views on religion. It's very insightful. Although I don't like his conclusion. His conclusion is to make this state worship pretty much. And if you've seen my videos, you know my views of the state. So I wouldn't be in favor of civil religion and of state religion or state worship at all. In fact, I don't go as far, Sterner, but I'd prefer nothing to take the place of God. No one to sit. After getting rid of God, I don't want the state to sit in its place. In fact, I don't even really want happiness and pleasure to take its place. Nothing should be worshipped, really, and seen as this a holy figure that knows everything. We live in the gray. That's what I like about my theory so far, is that it allows a lot of leeway. It's pretty much, if you ain't violating autonomy, you're doing all right. Cool. And also, I talked about material well-being. I want to make a little clarification. I'm not saying that if you're not rich, then you're not moral. What I'm saying is having as your goal getting material well-being is a pretty good idea and will lead to your happiness. So long as you don't do the kind of things which will destroy your happiness, such as lying, cheating, stealing, violating autonomy and such. So when it comes to rich and poor, I think for the most, when it comes to this moral theory, everyone's pretty much the same. So in terms of being able to do this theory, so it hasn't changed when it comes to income and such. Well, this is already a two-parter, and it's already very long. And if you stuck it out to the second part, then yes, thank you. And a little fun tangent. I found 2 programs on the internet for free that are really awesome. You should check out. One's called Weatherbug, and the other's called PhotoJoy. They're very good programs. This is what PhotoJoy does. See, it makes your screensaver all cool. It does stuff like that. Yeah, that's all. Bye.